will come to drown the stream of knowledge, and beauty is to succeed in learning and service. Excess is our goal. Ahmadu, Bello, University, and our dreams we shall achieve. We give thanks to Almighty Allah, in Him we rely. We give Him through inshallah, by the ways of good learning. North to south, east to west, your name shall always live. Ahmadu, Bello, University,
Thank you very much, University. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I also acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Provost, Postgraduate College, Professor Zaria, welcome, sir. And then also Professor Ahmadu, a former Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, you're welcome, sir. And quickly, with the permission of the Vice Chancellor, we move to the first item on the agenda, which is safety brief. And to do that, may I invite the team members of the EBU Energy Innovation Challenge, Muhammad Sajjad Islam. Please, can we put our hands together for Muhammad Sajjad while he comes for the safety brief?
Good day, esteemed guests. Good day, esteemed guests, all my fellow students and faculty members. It's my privilege of the organizing committee to present a safety brief. It's going to be a short one due to the time factor, and the brief is just there to ensure our safety and comfort throughout the event. So, firstly, I will want every one of us to notice the environment around and look at it. At the extreme end, we have an exit. In the front there also, we have an exit. Outside the assembly hall, we have a muster point around the parking lot. For my fellow students, we have a convenience at the back. Females is by the left, for the males by the right. For my distinguished speakers and guests, our convenience is behind me. I would also love us, as we commence the program, we should all remain seated and ensure the exits are free and open. Also, I would love each and every one of us, if in case of any emergency, for the nearest exit, we shouldn't rush out. We should go calmly, then head to the muster point. After that, we should await further instructions. Safety is our unified responsibility, and I hope we will all ensure a safe and fruitful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sajjad. Safety is the first. Thank you very much for that brief. And at this point, moving to the next item, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor and privilege to invite for the opening remarks the chief host of today's event, the Vice Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Professor Ahmadu. We put our hands together for the Vice Chancellor while he comes for the opening remarks. Thank you. You can keep on clapping while the Vice Chancellor comes. Thank you.
Distinguished participants, it's my pleasure to be here with you this morning. And let me first foremost recognize very especially some of our elders, Professor AJ. It's good to have you stay around with us very well. The directors of SAT, directors, CBN, former deans, of the faculty, current deans and heads of departments, but more especially also to recognize the representative of the Managing Director of INEA. We're all welcome to this very special event. Ladies and gentlemen, occasions like this are very special to this university. We know the challenges we've been going through with power, and we have relied for so long on external support, not that we didn't need it, but the fact that quite often we submit our future, our destiny to decisions outside this campus when indeed we also have solutions within ourselves. They say, why go to Sokoto when you have it in your Sokoto? So I'm very glad that the Faculty of Engineering has taken this bull by the horn to say that let's start a conversation, that can help us address our problems. Now, many of you would recall, and I'm very happy that the former Dean of Engineering, Professor Mohamed Dauda, is here, Professor Boijimo, would all recall, about 10 years ago, when we decided to confront this energy challenge head on. And we had lots of discussions with mainstream energies and a couple of other opportunities. We wanted to take power directly from transmission station at Dogarawa and pass through the Basawa barracks and drop it directly so that we can have nearly 40% of savings in the spending that we do on energy. Unfortunately, I think that we are not persistent on that solution, and it's. But during that same period, I remember Dr. Abdul Rashid Said. I've seen him around. Can you stand up? Pretty young man. He didn't have the PhD then, but he was so passionate about the energy thing, and he came to me and spoke about creating the Kayenji Lake model civil engineering to serve as a support base for training of our electrical engineers. Please let me sit down. And we walked around the clock, and the university provided support for him, and he restored it. And after that, he left for Malaysia for his PhD. He came back with that same spirit and came to me several times, and I did ask him to work closely with the Dean of Engineering and others. So I'm glad that that effort is coming to fruition with several activities that are coming on board. So we would like to thank the faculty and everyone that has been part of this great success. Now, we also do recall that in the last 4 months, we have paid to KEPCO, nearly 2 billion, something that we can use to support our academic activities. In May, when I assumed it is the first bill I got was 300 and about 70 million. We kept working through committees and it kept dropping. And I said last month we had about 220. We are hopeful that we can still go. So we'd like to appreciate the effort of those committees that we have set up on energy audit and also sustainable and decent use of electricity, which brought us to where we are. But we can't stop. I have challenged every one of us to see how we can drop that energy bill in the next few months so that we can divert these resources to support our academic activities. So events like this are very important, and we should all rally around to see that we get results. The second important thing is only last month, beginning of this month, we closed 63 years as a university. We have come a very long way, but we have stayed within the laboratories for too long. We need to get out of the labs and begin to address our problems head on. So we are looking for research impact. We need to commercialize, we need to take our products to the market. And I'm very pleased with the efforts of the business school for helping us to do that. Last week we challenged them to critically evaluate our microfinance bank and let us see how we can take it to the level of Money Point. And I'm sure he did. So everything is about technology. We have very strong computer engineering, computer science in this university. Why should our microfinance fail to take services to everywhere across Nigeria? So I think we want to prove that point very soon, that we can do that. Faculty of Engineering, very pleased with a lot of the things that are coming out there. When I visited them, I challenged them to help us solve problems. Last week I was at electrical engineering and I saw the conversion they did of our vehicles to electric. And we will return many of the other vehicles that are grounded and see how we can convert them to electric vehicles. So, last few weeks I was reading somebody on the social media was talking about those early days where this had dedicated a moving vehicle to mechanical engineering for practical students. So the pieces and they learned from it. And I said, where are those vehicles? There's no practicals in those vehicles. So I have approved that we take one vehicle to them, to one of their workshops. I mean, these are things that we need to continue to do to build the capacity of our students and to solve problems. Chemical engineering, I don't know whether the head department is here. We want to ask them to supply all of our chemicals. And we already directed the Dean Student Affairs to ensure that at least for the beginning, we should have a sizable of the supplies of detergents and the sanitizers for our toilets. And then we'll continue to evaluate that and see how we can take that also to the market. Not only in Zaria, but also engineering, we're looking at you and we'll continue to provide that support to ensure this happens. Our very special appreciation to Rural Education Agency, every representative here. This is an agency that has stood up in support of us. We are part of the 8 institutions that will have, renewable energy. It's approval in the last 6 weeks by the Federal Executive Council to give us 10 megawatts of renewable energy. We have to thank you very much and please convey our appreciation to Engineer Abba. He's doing a great. He's an alumnus of BUK, but he loves us so much. But it is, ABU Kano. So we can understand why that keeps happening. So we'd like to appreciate you. He gave us about 450 street lights also very recently. Extend our appreciation. We want to also especially thank Mainstream. I understand they will be here. They're here. Oh, great, thank you. Mainstream has been doing a great job. They were the same team that we were talking about to give us power directly from Kayenji through the transmission. We are back in the discussion with them again. But beyond that, they have offered opportunity for us, for our students, to go to visit Kayenji and Shiroro. And I think only last week they returned, and I'm told they flew them, right? They flew them. From Ahmadu to Kayenji and back. So these are exciting moments, and please extend our very sincere appreciation when you go back. And we will continue to work with you. They have also agreed to help us upgrade the Kayenji dam model in Faculty of Engineering. So I'd like to thank you. And to all the members, the Dean of Engineering, thank you. the organizing committee. Everyone would like to appreciate you, and let us make ABU continue to be in the front. Thank you, and God bless all.
Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor. So please can we once again put our hands together for the Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much, sir. And like the Vice Chancellor said, we're here to start this conversation. And it is our prayers that, after this conversation, the price will continue to reduce up to even less than 100 million by the providence of God. Once again, thank you very much, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, before moving to the next item on the agenda, may I also acknowledge the presence of the Dean Faculty of Physical Sciences. You're welcome, sir. The Directorate of Research and Innovation, Professor J.J. Maynard, you're welcome, ma'am. And then, of course, Professor Emmanuel Bello of the Intellectual Property Unit, you're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. And to the introduction of the ABU Energy Innovation Challenge. And may I invite the chairman of the ABU EIC, Dr. Abdurrashid Said, to please come forward for that.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I would like to start actually to have a conversation about an ABU energy solution. So let me start from the beginning, because after this speech of the Vice Chancellor, I became dumbfounded. But I will start from somewhere. What happened? Apologies. All right, so as you can see on the screen, I was born and brought up here. I had my primary, secondary, and university studies here. Please, who can tell me where this is? Prof, it's Zaria. I was born and brought up here in Zaria, and I had my primary, secondary. Anyway, this is the way I see Zaria, and I'm sure. So if you believe Zaria could be like this, you're right. And if you don't believe that Zaria could be like this, you're also right. Because it's your mindset. And that's fine. I see it like this. So there's this very simple structure that I have come across throughout my life. At my primary school, we do the university. And me, myself, and my brother would always find ourselves resting here before we get to our house. I don't know what it was, but I find comfort resting here. And then fast forward to secondary school, the same thing. In the university, I find myself here. They call it carryover joint. We do rest here, come and just enjoy ourselves. I never knew exactly what it was back then. So at university, after university, I got employed in the same department, and I still don't know what it was. You know, at some point in 2016, I was assigned as a committee member to demolish this structure, this very one. And we were going to do it. We were going to replace it with flowers. Yes. The next day we were going to do it, then something struck my head. I said, what exactly is this? I think I need to find out what this is. That was when I went on asking questions to the most senior professors, asking them what this is, what can we do with it, what does it do? My dear ladies and gentlemen, I came to understand that this structure is a smaller model of Kainji Dam. It is being used for research, for students to learn how to generate electricity from water at a very smaller scale. Then I realized, thank God I did not demolish my past. Then I went on to find out more. Then I discovered that ABU once had a relationship with Kainji. So let me say, I want to put it in a smaller way so that we can all understand. So let's say this is Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. It is seriously Okay, this is kind. This is just an example. This is ABU and this is kind. Now they fall in love at some point from my discovery. I later discovered that that love gave birth to Kainji Drama, Kainji Theatre. Okay? It's a theater that has been impacting academically a number of students, countless number of students have benefited from this simple relationship. Now that relationship went on, it became so serious, and they gave birth to Kainji Lake model in civil engineering. If anyone has been to civil engineering, you should be able to see this. So this is the result of that love affair. It went in further. Kanji was seriously in love with ABU and it gave birth to this particular structure that I didn't understand. Now, I don't know, along the way, something went on. They have been fought, and the structure remained where it was. Nothing happened. Nobody is using it. It lasted over 40 years. Nobody is using anything here. So, ABU made effort, and nothing changed. The structure still remained where it was. Now, this confused me. I came in as a very small assistant lecturer. I saw the thing and I want to revive it. And I'm thinking, how can I reconnect ABU and Kanji? How can I bring back that love? And I don't have anything. I just say, let me start before I'm ready. You know, that's my favorite quote in life. Start before you are ready. I said, I should just start. Things will fall out. I don't know, let's just start. Okay, we started. We came in with the help of management. We took a profile listing of the model. We understood that yes, it's really a kind of model, and we've done quite a lot. We've assessed the turbine. This is their turbine, the Kevlar turbine. Very simple, and it generates electricity. And then we assess the entire structure, see how we can be able to, patch out all the cracks, and see how, in our own little way, then you can see we just managed to reconstruct some parts and then get it together. And then we did we dug in this pump and we did try to repair it, but it was not forthcoming. So some of the technicians now led me to that particular one at the end. And we tested it and it worked fine. And then we fabricated the flood evacuators in one of our technical and mechanical laboratories. It was functioning well. We cut down trees, we did a little bit of work to revive it and bring it back to life. And we even tried to develop a flow chart for the system, just the way we understand it, we try to develop it that way. And this is the result. It was something very interesting because we were able to generate 300 watts of electricity from it. So my dear ladies and gentlemen, I was very, very, very happy with this. 300 watts of electricity, so we can afford this. But unknowingly to me, this was the beginning of my problem. Because I used the money I was to go for my PhD, I sank everything here. Just a few months, when we announced the Biden, I got a letter that I have a week to lose my admission if I don't come to Malaysia. And I started looking for money, no money. I went to First Bank. For the first time, I wanted to take a loan. This is my first time, and it was the last time. They said they will not give me the loan because my account was savings. I came back. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I was hopelessly moving. Then I came across someone very special to the university. This person you are seeing actually loves ABU in a very unique way. Very, very unique. And then he asked me, Rashid, were you able to revive the model? I said, yes, I was able to do it. Then he said, okay, let's go and see. Let's go and see. We came in, I invested, and he was very happy. As usual, he said, I will talk to the vice chancellor. He asked me to write a report. He went to the VC, and he discussed with him. The next day, I received a call. He said, come to the Senate building. We're going to meet the vice chancellor. And we had a long discussion with the VC. And at the end, I told him, sir, when I started this, they told me I cannot do it. Please and please, I need a handshake. He said, what is a handshake? I said, yes, sir. What is a handshake? And you can see the handshake. I was so proud of this because the picture was taken by Professor Ahmadu, the vice chancellor himself. He told me he would come to civil engineering, and he did. I was the next day. He came and we tested some things. He advised me. I showed him around. I could see you can be able to remember some of the cases. So it was really, really an interesting thing. And to be sincere with you, 2 days after this, the Vice Chancellor asked me, I learned you use all your funds for this model. And I said, yes, sir. He said, Ali, get a return to explanation. So sincerely, this is a gesture I cannot forget in my life. Because I got it when I needed it. Yeah. So after 2-3 days, I traveled and I found myself in this wonderful school. I was doing a lot because of the impact I had. I was a little bit successful. I'd won about 3 gold medals. I won about 6 research grants through my studies, and I participated in more than 16 international exhibitions. But then I kept on thinking, what about my ABU? What about my Zaria that I dreamed of? And what about the KNG model? When I came back, it was still there looking at me. So I did a lot I was thinking, how can I do it? I wrote, and I failed. And then lastly, I got this grant, effort grant, for the reviving of that same model. At least, it's a step forward. So I get in, and then, my dear friends, this is a dream I have for that model. I believe you can see it. It's a complete model. It's a hybrid system. You can see the KNG medical model. This is how I plan it to be in engineering. And then you can see these are some of you can see some research sit-outs. I want these sit-outs to be powered by the power we're going to get from this particular gamma. So students can now benefit, do their research, have internet. It's going to be internet also. And then this is going to be a mini control room, just like any hydropower stations have control room. And then there's going to be Starlink as well. So everyone can draw and enjoy themselves from the facility. And then I plan to have, you can see there is solar panels, because this is going to be a hybrid system, whereby there will be augmentation. When there is no water, there will be sunlight. When there is no sunlight, there will be wind as well. You can see some wind turbines. I hope you can see very clearly. So it's a complete system that I designed, and this I designed in mind. Okay, one last thing you need to see is that wall of fame. It is going to be between mainstream and ABU. Actually, I made this presentation to mainstream, okay, citing that this is how I dream the Faculty of Engineering KNG model to look like. And so let me show you the wall of fame, so students can come over and they can take some pictures as usual. So they were happy that this is going to be an innovation park for them in ABU Zaria. So this is my plan. After the ABU model, the engineering model, I intend to translate that hybrid nature to ABU down. Even though I made some research and I discovered that dam did not flow throughout the year, but at least for the 6 months we have it, we can generate hydroelectricity from it, and then we can generate. When there is no hydro, we can go in wind blades. I've already discussed with some companies. Some are even willing to give us 2 turbines. There's going to be a solar system as well. I was suggesting the floating solar. Yeah, we can have them on the dam as well. So it's a plan. But then I discussed this with the KNG, the mainstream energy people. I told them about the role of ABU, what we plan to do in terms of data collection, providing the church fund grants for the reviving and the development of educational continuity of the project and so on. I told them all this, and I told them about ensuring the safety, and then I told them their roles. Okay, this was just last week. Okay, so their own role, I defined what they needed to do, and all that. So everything is clearly defined. I was trying to what? Reconnect ABU and KNG, don't forget. So, so after this presentation, I now show this. I said, now ABU is ready with something, not so big, but at least with something. Yes, but the key thing is KNG is still thinking. ABU is ready. I mean, when I say with something, I mean with the research grant, at least we have some money now to do something. So now I told them, because there was only one person that can do this in mainstream, that there is only one hand that can push Kenji to be together with ABU. And that hand, that day, I said, is the hand of someone we call the change maker, someone we call Mr. Capacity, someone we call Mr. Talk and Do. Because when he talks, that's the end. And I asked them, do you still need to know who I'm talking about? They said no. Then I just said, let me just show you. I'm referring to Mr. Siraj. And that is the executive director of Mainstream. And he was very, very happy. He was very happy. And the rest is history. I told you, if ABU is back with Kanji, a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of benefits. And I discovered the foundation, they have Mainstream Foundation. I think we can fit into this because they are into education, health, community empowerment, and environment. I said, anywhere we can fit in education and empowerment as well. And to my surprise, I said, if accepted, if they accept us, life will never be the same again. It will never be the same. Because the togetherness between ABU and Kanji can result in many, many better things. Let me show you one. It's going to generate creativity and innovation, okay, in between them. It's going to be a collaboration. We're going to work on the predictive analytics. We're going to incorporate artificial intelligence into the hydro-powered generation, transmission, and so we're exceptionally happy with this because I think we're going to develop, we're going to have intellectual properties, we're going to have patents together, we're going to have publications and conferences and journals. We were very happy. And then we're going to position Mainstream as a research-driven company. So this is equally going to serve, we're going to position ourselves as a pool for Mainstream to always reach out because we have talents who have exposed themselves. So anytime they want something, they can always reach out to ABU. Okay? We can be connecting from here to them, we'll go there, and then they will come over. I'm telling you, this presentation led us to fly with private jets. We landed in aviation. First time of private jet. But they were very happy. I said, so this relationship is going to be between ABU and Kanji. But Mainstream is managing 3 more dams. And I said, ABU, having gotten Kanji, as a normal person, we start thinking about something. Professor Harry will understand what I'm talking about. We are going for Java, and we are going for Zungeru. We are going to get Kashimbila. All the models are going to be built in ABU. So it's going to be a long ABU and Mainstream. The relationship is surely going to be a long one. So collaboration is a new competition. That's just what I told them. And to my surprise, when the ED stood up, he said, fly to Zaria, talk to the, he's just set up a committee, 6 people, including Engineer Hassana. He said, fly to aviation, go to engineering, check whatever he needs, give him a brand new candidate model. Lots of partners, I shared tears with this because I didn't know how they started and got here. And surely we are going somewhere. So now I just looked at the energy landscape in Africa through research, and I discovered we have a lot of potential. Africa is using less than 3% of the global energy usage. Solar potential is huge, but we're just using only 1%. And then in Nigeria, we have the problems of grid collapse. That's here we have 2017, we have this much grid collapse, transmission issues, vandalism, and even lastly, security, and transmission and distribution from Mainstream. So now we came back to Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. We are naturally ahead, they said. We are academically excellent. We are multicultural. Whatever you're looking for, you come to it, you'll find it. And then we are home to, they call the research power in Nigeria. Yeah? And then we are multi-diverse. Whatever you're looking for, again, you come to it, you'll find it. And then we have a lot of infrastructure, fantastic ones. And we have human capital. You can see from here, ABU is connected everywhere. ABU has it. You name it, we have it. But then, the power and electricity. But this is embarrassing, though. With all that we have, all the brilliance that we have, this is not supposed to be happening. ABU is bigger than this. And so despite this, we pay over 300 million. You just have from the Vice Chancellor. Frequent outages, national grid over reliance, we are too much into that. Obsolete systems, we have to do something about this. And I said, we need our own solution. We need it. ABU can do it. Who doesn't believe you? No one, right? Who believes you? Yes, so we can do it. So the last visit of the Vice Chancellor to I think probably the back is out. Can you? Okay. So we now go back. Okay, take it. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. So from there, the Vice Chancellor visited our faculty and he narrated the issue with power in ABU. And from the quotes I see, he said, when you see something, do something. When you see something, do something. The Vice Chancellor came in, he narrated the problem, and I saw it. I saw the zeal that he wants to do something, and I decided we must do something. That's what we brought out the ABU Energy Innovation Challenge. It's a company-wide competition to bring out creativity, harness creativity from staff, students, and alumni to see how we can power our own investing ourselves. So, all right, so this is the vision. Go on. So this is our logo. I can see the logo is visible everywhere, right? Very, very visible. Something close to ABU. So these are the participation requirements. It's a competition. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to tell you that we've received close to 70 applications now. Different this is the winners. The first prize will go 1,550,000 for the 3 groups that are into this. So in addition, the top 5, the top 10 will be trained under the UNDP program here in ABU. I'm sure you have seen a lot of this. So these are the teams behind this particular thing. Okay? So these are the teams. Mariam Aminu is here. We put in some wonderful teams. And Professor Ahmadu Haruna, the Dean, the Director Center of Excellence. And then we have the Prof. Aura, this is our Dean of Engineering, as well as Prof. Anuka, he's part of this as well. Please move on. So this is the bad guy. Please go on. So these are other committee members. They are all here. Go on. These ones as well, they are all here. And these ones as well, they are all here. They've been very, very wonderful. You can see Dr. Yusuf from Energy Research. Yeah. Go on. And then at the end, I want to admonish us, even though we have something to show at the end. If you see something, you have to do something. If you see something, if you cannot do something, then you have to say something. Are we together? It's something, it's a mantra, a change mantra that I want to present for ABU. And we have something to share with that as well. We're unveiling something today regarding that. So I would like to thank you and wish you this guy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abdurrashid. Please can we once again put our hands for that? And thank you for wishing us that time. Well, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the ball is in our court now. The die they see is cast, and the ball is in our courts. Now left to us to start the conversation, make some noise about it, amplify, this challenge until ABU gets, the necessary solution it deserves as far as the issue of power challenge is concerned. Once again, thank you very much, sir. And now, quickly, with the permission of the Vice Chancellor, we move to the next item on the agenda. And based on the agenda, we have 3 keynote speakers, and each keynote speaker is allotted 10 minutes. So first I will start with the Managing Director, Rural Electrification Agency, Dr. Ahmadu, who is here ably represented by Dr. Tilden. Please come in, put her hands together.
Thank you very much. Distinguished Vice Chancellor, respected faculty members, esteemed colleagues, innovators, brilliant students, both present and virtual, good morning. I don't want to water down this presentation. I used Dr. Aliu's presentation. I thought that should be the end of the session, really. It was such a brilliant one. But since I was also asked by my MD, another Dr. Aliu, to continue, I believe that the spirit will continue. Thank you very much for this opportunity. BC, sir, I wish to express a sincere apology of the Managing Director, Dr. Ahmadu. Fortunately, the Minister dragged him to another high-level meeting in Lagos. He assumed he was going to leave Lagos yesterday and return. But unfortunately, that didn't see the light of the day. I have an open confession, sir. I always like a situation where the MD is busy and he looks for the next man in line to cover him. One of such first visits, he nominated me, and I got to the airport, my regular passenger protocol. I got the boarding pass. When I got into the plane, I was going to the economy class, and the attendant drew my attention that I was supposed to sit in the first class. Actually, my seat number was 01, and I thought it was 11. So I was going to 11, and I was right there. It was very good that I was representing the ND. He called me yesterday at 4 p.m., and I've never seen him plead like that. He said, please proceed to Zaria. If not, pass your night in Kaduna and proceed the next morning. Please send my sincere, he was saying please, please, so many times in a sentence. And please accept his sincere apology. And so, thank you very much for that lovely presentation. Our mandate in the Rural Education Agency is to accelerate the provision of electricity in our rural communities. We have seen a disjoint between the academia and the industry. And you have alluded to that, Dr. Aliu. Only just 3 years ago, we were priding ourselves in using tubular batteries for our solar system, solar assets. Today, we're talking lithium ion. The energy is maturing at such a fast pace that we don't even know what alloys or elements would replace lithium ion next year. And when we look back, we don't see the handshake of academia in the industry. These innovations are stirred up by either our Chinese companies or our contractors. Reviews are coming from our contractors to say, oh no, this lithium ion battery is not, why don't we try this and that? And we see just very limited footprint of academia in the industry. I think we have to now shift the narrative from the ABU, Kainji Law Laboratory, PowerPoint to power plants. We have to move that narrative to power plants. Thank you very much, Doctor. Vice Chancellor, I will read as Dr. Abba has asked me to. It is an honor to return to the heart of Nigerian scholarship, where innovation begins and where the minds that shape tomorrow are forged. The theme Beyond the Grid invites us to think not only of electricity infrastructure, but also of infrastructure of ideas and the intellectual networks that power real-world transformation. At Rural Education Agency, our mission transcends electrification. It is about empowerment through access, inclusion through innovation, and sustainability through knowledge. We stand at the heart of the renewed hope agenda, driving clean energy expansion through data-driven, community-centered solutions that link policy, technology, and human development. Our flagship programs, such as the Energizing Education Program, has deployed well over 36 megawatts of solar hybrid systems across 9 universities and 2 teaching hospitals, transforming academic staff across the country. ABU Zaria is one of our beneficiaries. the discussion has reached an advanced level, and in a short while, I'm very sure you'll see impacts on ground on how the university's leadership has pushed vehemently for the approval and effect. Thank you for mentioning that, and that will be fruitful very soon. Also, through our Energizing Economics initiative, we have powered over 20,000 shops and supported 80,000 micro enterprises in markets such as the Zaria market in Abia, Sabongari in Kano, Sura market in Lagos, Memageni in Kaduna, and a host of other markets. This would catalyze our local industry and stir job creation. Furthermore, through our national call for research, so we also have a call for research. We have been putting out these calls, but unfortunately, we have seen visibility among the academia. So sometimes you send letters to the VCs to help us publish within the local domain. But I must confess that sometimes the submissions from the universities can be appalling. You know, we have to thank you for having this initiative locally, so that you can incubate before it goes to the larger, it moves onto a larger platform. Our national call for research, through our national call for research, over 40 research teams from universities and polytechnics are developing practical solutions in various thematic areas, cutting across e-mobility for rural productive use, advances in renewable energy production, battery storage technology, smart metering, gender inclusion, carbon financing, and local manufacturing. My discipline is statistics and data mining, and I do a lot of crunching numbers. And so this is the era of AI. Our meters are smart. I remember when we started ARIA some 19 years ago, we were only doing grid extension. Then the Japanese came with JICA, and we had this alliance with JICA to test run solar home systems. We had only 6 communities in the country to test run solar home systems. And we went to one of these communities in the southeast. We were literally chased out of that community to come and carry our solar home systems because it's NEPA that they want. They don't want solar home systems. Only just about 8 years ago, we had about our first solar mini grid. Today, we have expansion in scale, in megawatts of solar mini grids. So we welcome all the ideas from academia. We have seed funding for you also, both lecturers and students. Please visit our website or call our agency for continuous information on our complementary services that you benefit from. Altogether, the Rural Education Agency has delivered more than 12,500 kilometers of decentralized distribution lines, connecting over 1.6 million Nigerians to clean and reliable electricity through solar home systems and solar mini grids. But these achievements are not just statistics. They are stories. Stories of our children studying under reliable light, farmers reducing post-harvest losses, and women entrepreneurs expanding their livelihoods with dignity and power. Energy access, therefore, is not merely about lighting homes, it is about lighting possibilities. The next decade will not belong to those who consume power, but to those who create it intellectually, technologically, and socially. As we advance towards Nigeria's net zero vision and universal access goals, the most critical bridge we must strengthen is the bridge between your classrooms and our communities. So our young engineers, scientists, and innovators here today, Nigeria's next breakthroughs will not be imported. And I'm sure you've heard about companies coming from, there's a policy in prohibit or ban the importation of renewable energy equipment. So we're currently encouraging companies abroad to start manufacturing locally. The largest lithium manufacturing plant has just been commissioned in Nasarawa State a couple of weeks ago, and others are following through. The Rural Education Agency has just completed its investment forum that drew over 5,000 participants across the world. And local manufacturing is very integral to our success. We need your ideas to move local manufacturing forward. Ahmadu Bello University is not an observer in this journey, but a catalyst of progress. The Rural Education Agency stands ready to co-develop research, co-design innovation hubs, and co-train the next generation of clean energy professionals. Together, we can transform our communities into demonstration zones of sustainability and our students into architects of our energy independence and prosperity. Beyond the grid lies a future where knowledge powers people and people power progress. Thank you very much, and all the very best.
Thank you very much, sir. Please can we once again put our hands together for the representative of the Managing Director of Rural Electrification Agency. And the next keynote speaker is Dr. Ahmadu Batagrawa, a renewable energy expert. Okay, we move to the next keynote speaker, the Director Center for Energy Research and Training, Professor S.E. Jonah. Please can we also put our hands together for Professor Jonah.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, and other dignitaries here present. I'm here to make a presentation on this very important occasion. And as you know, I'm a nuclear scientist, so I'm going to be looking at it from that perspective. So this is the presentation I'm going to have. This is the title. Can we move to the next slide, please? So this is the presentation outline. I'll give you background. I'm going to be very brief on all these items. So I want to start with this. Please go back, next slide. Please click on this. I want to share with you what was happening or what has been happening on the social media in the last 3-4 weeks. Some of you must have seen it, but I want you to see it.
1980s. While the world watched other nations, Nigerian scientists were secretly enriching weapons-grade uranium. Hidden deep in the remote wilderness of Kaduna State, researchers at Ahmadu Bello University had built sophisticated centrifuge facilities. The equipment came from Pakistan's infamous AQ Khan network, smuggled piece by piece over several years. By 1987, they were just months away from producing their us. Western intelligence agencies finally discovered the program and were shocked by how advanced it had become. The facilities were so well hidden that satellites had missed them completely. Immediate diplomatic pressure and crushing economic sanctions forced Nigeria to abandon everything. But here's the most startling part. The nuclear infrastructure was so sophisticated that dismantling it required international oversight teams. Even today, some of those facilities remain classified. Nigeria came closer to joining the nuclear club than anyone realized. One decision changed everything.
Thank you very much. Who here believe this story? Our VC is here. He knows that we are doing everything for peaceful uses, nothing clandestine that we are doing. So next slide, please. No, please. It's okay. Just next slide. So, as you have heard from everybody, energy is very vital to life. Because without it, you will not be able to come here. I will not be able to speak to you, and so on and so forth. Today, more than 31 countries operate nuclear power plants. I'm going to bring it home. How can ABU and Nigeria enjoy this? Next slide, please. So this is the share of the world energy supply by fuel. We have oil, gas. I know nuclear is just about 6.3% as at 2024. But nuclear is already being advanced as the transition energy that will be used in the world in the next few decades. Next slide, please. Regarding to energy transition, innovation is very vital for achieving the net zero. And what are the key areas of innovation? We have heard before that renewable energy is one. Energy storage research should also be taken into consideration. Then we have grid modernization, and this can be achieved through AI. Our grids keep falling. Then we have decarbonization. And finally, we have nuclear energy, which we must key into because it is a very clean source of energy. Next slide, please. In Nigeria, the installed capacity is about 6,000 megawatts, but we don't generate more than 4,000 megawatts for a population of 200 million people. This is about 150 it's less than 150 kilowatt hour, which translates to 16 watts per person. So if we give everybody the energy we are generating, we can only give 16 watts to everybody. Probably cannot even power an electric bulb. It is 4 times less than the African average and about 20 times that of the world's average. So we get power in Nigeria through hydrothermal, but nothing is being done with regards to solar. From analysis that has been done, Nigeria will require 150,000 megawatts by 2040. By 2030, we need 100,000 megawatts. How can we achieve this? We need nuclear power plants, and this justifies the need for nuclear power plants. Next slide, please. The nuclear can help us both locally in ABU and Nigeria because it is a it's a zero carbon energy source, and it is one of the cleanest. The growing interest in Africa and the world will make us to go this way, and I'm going to give you some resources that you can use. Next slide, please. So these are the people who are building nuclear power plants in the world. There are 57 countries building nuclear power plants. And it's not surprising that China, one of the fastest growing economies, is building 21 nuclear power plants. Because energy, like we said, is the source of any economic development that wants to happen. Next slide, please. So what are the technologies available for Nigeria and ABU? We have what we call the micro-nuclear reactors. They are factory-built plug-and-play reactors. You just build them in the factory and bring them. And they produce between 1 megawatt to 20 megawatt electric energy. So this is where ABU can fit into. We can purchase a 2 megawatt or a 5 megawatt micro-reactor. And then we have the small modular reactors, which states can also key into. They are between 20 and 300 megawatt electric. So they are flexible and they can be scaled up or down. The big LPPs are so expensive. We are talking about 30 billion dollars. But the small reactors, we are talking about just 20 million, $50 million. And also the SMR between $600 and $1,000. So, but the generation of electricity for nuclear power plants have now gone into what we call the generation 4, which include liquid metal reactors, gas-cooled reactors, and molten reactors. All these technology as discussed, the micro, the SMR, and the NPP are based on this generation 4 technology. Next slide, please. So this is an example of a mini reactor on your left, which we can put in ABU here. The VC was saying that you pay 2 billion naira. We can use that 2 billion naira to get a mini reactor. For states can get SMR. If they put their resources together, they can build SMR and install in their states. For example, Kano and Kaduna State can install a 300 megawatt SMR and they operate it as a local source of power. Next slide, please. So what are the resources I told you about? The International Atomic Energy Agency, which is the nuclear watchdog of the United Nations, has gone into agreement with the World Bank, and they are now ready to bring resources for developing countries to add nuclear to their energy resources. So this is what we need to do. We need to key into it. We can approach the IAEA and get funding, both locally and at the national level. I give you an example of Ghana has already taken the lead. Right now, Ghana has an SMR called NewScape. They have installed the full scope simulator in Ghana for training, for teaching. This Nigeria has missed, but it is not too late. Like I said, state government can come together and provide funding for SMR. Next slide, please. Now, what are we doing at the Center for Energy Research and Training? At the Center for Energy Research and Training, we are not developing weapons as that video maliciously portrayed, but we have operated a nuclear reactor from 2004 to date. That reactor was running on highly enriched uranium, enriched to 90%, which is weapons-grade uranium. But with the help of International Atomic Energy Agency and local partners, we converted that reactor to low-enriched uranium. And because of the resources we got, we are now developing reactor design capacity. And we came up with a reactor design for Nigeria, and it is called Nigeria Advanced Radioisotope Reactor, which is called NIRA 1. This is the model of the reactor we have designed, and we want support from both the Ahmadu Bello University as well as the Nigeria Atomic Energy Commission, and by extension, Nigeria. So we can design even all these SMR and mini reactors locally. Next slide, please. So finally, ABU cannot afford to be left behind when it comes to R&D, especially when you are talking about nuclear. At such, we have made some modest achievements, and these are the achievements, and we are encouraged, it is encouraged that we, as the university, will participate in future R&Ds when it comes to nuclear power. Fusion is one area that is being looked at, then generation 4 reactors, and then looking at thorium fuel reactors instead of uranium, because thorium is more available than uranium. I think this is all I have to say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. So please can we once again put our hands together for Professor Juna. The next keynote speaker is supposed to be Dr. Amina Batagarawa. Dr. Amina Batagarawa is unavailably absent physically, but she has sent, I think, a 5-minute video for us to see. So with the permission of the Deputy Vice Chancellor who is standing in for the Vice Chancellor, we play that video by Dr. Amina Batagarawa. Thank you.
Good morning, distinguished guests, senior colleagues here, colleagues, students, and fellow change makers. I'm Amina Batagarawa. I'm an associate professor of architecture at Bello University in Abuja. However, ABU is my alma mater, and it gave me my first opportunity for homegrown impact as a lecturer fresh from acquiring a PhD from Newcastle University in the UK. It is noteworthy for me to say that PTDF, the Petroleum Technology Development Fund, gave me a homegrown first opportunity to acquire a PhD. I'm building a story here, bear with me. And it is my profound honor to stand before you today at the ABU Energy Innovation Challenge, a platform that celebrates not just ideas, but the courage to act on those ideas. Our theme today is homegrown power, building a culture of innovation from classroom to campus. And it is not just a mere slogan. It is a call to awaken the latent energy within our own walls, within our classrooms, and more importantly, within our own selves. Now let's move from ideas to impact. Allow me to share an evolutionary story. So at Ahmadu Bello University, like I said, my alma mater and maiden employer, we are witnessing a revolution. And it is not quiet because we're all over social media. It is a tool, it is a strength. It is a student-led project with faculty research, and it is community-driven. It is a community-driven initiative that is converging to create a real-world energy solution for the great AU and the challenge. So where I work currently, we are struggling to establish the Center for Clean Energy and Climate Change, where we work with associations like the Women in Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria. I presently am the chair of the Energy Transition Program, and our goal is to empower women to participate in a pivotal role in sustainable energy, breaking barriers and building capacity for all. Some of our joint projects between the Center and YRA is the Community Biodigester and the Clean Cook Stove Initiative. Now, the Community Biodigester Initiative is a grassroots innovation that turns organic waste into clean energy, thereby providing sustainability and proving that sustainability begins at home. And the Clean Cook Stoves Initiative is very similar, and it's a collaboration that brings safer, cleaner cooking technologies to underserved communities, improving health and reducing carbon footprints. Now, these are not imported solutions. They are homegrown. They are crafted by our researchers, by our association members. They are nurtured by faculty and administration and management, and they are embraced by our communities, thereby moving from classroom to communities. So let me talk a bit about the academic reality, a system in strain. Let us be honest. The academic ecosystem is quite demoralizing, but it is not just in Nigeria. If you follow lecturers from abroad, they are showing the same strain. It is characterized by long hours with little or no recognition, poor pay, bloated classrooms. We are experiencing bloated classrooms more in the public institutions than in the private institutions, but believe me, the private institutions are also reporting huge increase in numbers. We're also encumbered by crumbling infrastructure and the relentless politics in some of our institutions. There are ever-increasing administrative activities and duties that leave little room for creativity, growth, or this same innovation that we need to thrive. So when does one find the time to do, to conceptualize, to build, or even to motivate the students? Now, this is a harsh reality many of us face, but it is also the reason why we must evolve. How? Let me talk about academic entrepreneurship, a concept that I've been introduced to recently, and it's the path forward for many of us. Now, some of us may know about this concept because it has prevailed in places like the UK and the US for a while. But we must morph into academic entrepreneurs who are scholars that attract funding, create opportunity, and can build impact beyond our four ivory towered walls of our institutions. Now, this means we must learn to leverage technology. We must use tools that are available to us, ResearchGate, LinkedIn, Google Scholar, but not just to create and showcase our work, and sometimes empty work, but to network, to collaborate, and to amplify work with value, which we have. Most of them are languishing on our shelves somewhere. We've got to write books and we've got to learn how to consult. So writing books means you're sharing your expertise with the world, and there is a lot of latent expertise within us. We've got to package our knowledge into tools that others can use, thereby creating value, but creating an impact of premium from our academia. We have to learn to patent our innovation. We don't need to create things from scratch. We need to innovate. It's all right to innovate, to create from scratch. But even innovations can be patented, thereby creating opportunities for academia. We need to build our own personal brand. We've talked about LinkedIn and ResearchGate earlier. Let your
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Amina Atagarao, for that wonderful presentation, and we sincerely apologize for the technical hitches. And the next presentation is by the Executive Director of Mainstream Energy Solution Limited, who is here ably represented by Engineer Hassan Abubakar. Please, can we put our hands together for Engineer Hassan? You know, even though we're beginning to have men who are breaking the glass ceiling, but it's very rare to see a woman with that prefix, engineer. I'm sure Professor Wayozani will attest to that fact. Thank you, sir. So please, thank you.
The Vice Chancellor here in absentia, Deputy Vice Chancellor, professors, faculty members here present, brilliant students of Ahmadu Bello University, guest speakers, I welcome you all to today's presentation. It is a privilege to stand before you all as one of the discussants of ABU Energy Conversation, a flagship event of Ahmadu Bello University Energy Innovation Challenge, a platform that will continue to inspire the future energy leaders. I am Engineer Hassan Abubakar, a SCADA engineer from Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited, Bachelor of Electrical Engineering from Ahmadu Bello University, and Masters in Control Engineering, both from Ahmadu Bello University. Mainstream Energy Solutions are the operators of 4 major hydropower plants in Nigeria, Kainji hydropower plant of 760 megawatt capacity, Zungeru hydropower plant of 700 megawatt capacity, Jeba hydropower plant of 578.4 megawatt capacity, and Kashingila hydropower plant of 40 megawatt capacity, contributing more than 2,000 megawatt to the Nigerian national grid. Our vision is to be the recognized performance leader of electric power industry in Nigeria and beyond. And our mission is to generate and deliver electricity in a safe, reliable, efficient, and most environmentally friendly manner. And our core values are teamwork, responsibility, innovation, integrity, and passion. We are ISO certified. We gather today under a theme that is both timely and transformative, beyond the grid, powering Ahmadu Bello University's energy future. Imagine walking into a lecture hall filled with eager students, laboratories, discoveries, lights shining brightly, computers humming, all powered by not a failing grid, but by an energy system, sustainable and independent system built right here on the campus. This is not just a dream, it is a vision of going beyond the grid, powering our institution sustainably, efficiently, reliably, and independently. Context of the problem. For decades, Ahmadu Bello University has stood as a symbol of academic excellence and innovation in the whole of Africa. Yet, like many great institutions in Nigeria, we face a common challenge: energy insecurity. Our laboratories, our libraries, our offices, our hostels, offices heavily rely on unstable national grid. Frequent outages disrupt our lectures, innovations, creativity. They force us to depend on costly diesel generators that drain not just our finances, but impacting negatively on the environment. The national grid, although it is improving, but cannot guarantee a 24-hour power supply. Today's conversation is not about the problem. Today's conversation is the solution, the future, the path forward. Transition, the new vision. We are not here to complain about the grid. We are here to go beyond the grid. Beyond the grid means taking ownership of our own power future. It means deploying distributed renewable energy systems. The solar energy, the wind power plant, hydropower plant, biomass, right at the heart of our institution. It means turning our campuses into living laboratories of sustainability, where research, innovation, emerging technology, creativity, real-world applications meet. So now, to go beyond the grid, what does it mean? It means to rethink how we power our own Ahmadu Bello University. It means shifting from dependence to independence, consumption to innovation, and vulnerability to resilience. Beyond the grid envision ABU Zaria as a self-sustaining ecosystem, powered by renewable sources, managed by intelligent systems, the AIs, IoTs, embedded system, SCADA system, supervisory control and data acquisition, driven by research and innovation from within this very campus. Core message powering our institution. How do we power Ahmadu Bello University's energy future? This is the question. How? We begin by combining our intellectual power with technological innovation and strategic investment. Let's empower students. Let's empower startups. Here's how we can achieve. Number one, let's harness the power of the sun. And I'm so glad MD of Rural Electrification Agency is around. Let's harness the power of the sun. Zaria enjoys over 5.5 kilowatt hours per square meter of solar radiation every day. By deploying campus-wide solar PV system integrated with BESS, battery energy systems, we can ensure round-the-clock power to our classrooms, offices, libraries, laboratories. Number two, let's develop a smart campus microgrid. Through modern energy systems, the IoT, AI, SCADA systems, smart metering, ABU can create a smart microgrid. Number three, let's promote research-driven innovation. ABU's Faculty of Engineering can collaborate with Center of Energy Research and Training. They should make a campus a living laboratory, test our new inverter technologies, hybrid system, controller algorithms, emerging technologies. Number four, we should leverage our public-private partnership with support from government agencies like the RIA, government regulatory bodies like the NEC, private sectors or generation companies like Mainstream Energy Solutions I represent. ABU can pioneer Nigeria's first university-scale renewable hybrid microgrid, integrating solar, wind, hydro, and even biomass. Number five, let's build hybrid resilience. By integrating solar with no hydro or gas backup, institutions can form hybrid mini-grids capable of running autonomously even during the national grid failure or during national grid collapse. So why does this matter? A self-powered Ahmadu Bello University will not only save costs, it will set a national precedent. It will demonstrate that sustainability and academic excellence can go hand in hand. It will reduce carbon emission, enhance learning continuity, strengthen the university's resilience against grid instability. Imagine ABU as a beacon of clean energy innovation in the whole of West Africa. A model replicated by other institutions, transforming how we think about power, education, and development. When the lights stay on in our lecture halls, the ideas born there will light up the whole nation. When an institution like ABU powers itself, it becomes a model for the nation. More importantly, students are inspired. Sustainability is not just theory in textbooks, but a living reality that can shape. Imagine the ripple effect. A self-powered university like ABU Zaria starts innovation hubs. Innovation hubs power communities. Communities build nations. Build a future where light never fails. Call to action. The vision will not build itself. It will take the collaboration of each and every one of us, the entrepreneurs, industry partners, lecturers, engineers, technicians, policymakers. We must champion policies that encourage renewable integration. We must fund energy startup and prototype emerging from our own laboratories. And we must believe and truly believe that Ahmadu Bello University can lead Nigeria's transition to a sustainable energy future. What does it take, my dear audience? It takes vision, it takes partnership, it takes collaboration, it takes commitment. Together we can make every institution education from primary to secondary to universities a beacon of sustainable power. In conclusion, in the words of Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. But this education needs power, clean, reliable, sustainable, and efficient power. I'm leaving you with the words of Ahmadu Bello himself. He says, the greatness of a nation lies in its people, its ideas, and in their will to shape the future. The question is, are we all ready? That will is alive, every student competing in the ABU Energy Innovation Challenge. That future begins not tomorrow, but today, here with us, as we move beyond the grid to power Ahmadu Bello University's energy future. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much, Engineer Hassan. Please can we once again put our hands together for Engineer Hassan. A distinguished alumnus of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, very passionate about solving the problem of EBU and a product of Department of Computer Engineering. I'm sure the HOD is here, Dr. Zaria. Please let's put our hands together for Dr. Zaria. Thank you very much. And the Vice Chancellor, sir, before we proceed to the discussion, we have an expert that is online who will make just 2-minute presentations before we proceed, sir. So please, Professor Ahmadu, we are with you. You can unmute yourself and go ahead with the presentation, please.
Very good morning to all. Can you hear me? Hello?
We're with you. Go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but can you project? I have a slide. Can I comment?
You can share the slide, sir.
No, I'll send the slide to you. Okay, fine. Wait. All right.
Share it.
Okay.
We're with you, sir. Can you see the screen share, sir?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, the Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, all the professors in the house. It's an honor, a privilege given to me to be a discussant in this noble, course. Please, my name is Ahmadu, and I'm currently in National University, Architectural Engineering Department. All right, thank you. Next slide, please. As we can see that if we look at the Sustainable Development Goals, Goal 7 precisely talks about sustainable energy and renewable energy, which is linked to all the 17 goals. And these goals tend to address issues surrounding climate change and sustainability, which energy is one of the key factors. For your information, UBIs are responsible for over 35% of energy consumption. And in my discussion today, I'll be talking about community engagement and capacity building as it relates to this cause. The next slide, please. And the question is, how do we embed energy literacy in ABU curriculum? I believe most of us studying in ABU, there is this course I used to remember, environmental science. It's a fundamental course which we all who work at ABU, I believe something similar could be introduced, which I call mandatory energy 101 for all first year students. This will create awareness for students who are incoming, and it will help to integrate sustainability into the system. The curriculum for both sciences and non-science students. What I mean by science and non-science students, how we think energy is, it belongs to only those in engineering and architecture or the energy related courses. No. What about the business unit? We have what we call the ROI. We need these students to understand policies and how we can generate and after that, have a return on investment when we have such energy in place. So, a mandatory energy 101 for all first year students will be a possible solution. That is in terms of curriculum. Number two has to do with activities. We could form an ABU Green Energy Club. Number two is to also start hands-on ABU energy education convention workshop. For example, have basics like solar basics. We will have pitch, we will have our students, or it will be a mixture of both students and staff have a pitch on energy in hostels and other part of the campus. Next slide, please. In terms of effective engagement and personal responsibility, the goal here is to foster a personal ownership for energy use and conservation. Number one, transparency and data. That's having a real-time energy dashboard for major buildings in ABU via what we call the energy management system. We will have display level board to encourage competition and savings. We will share simplified energy reports with department heads to know where we use energy the most, to know where we can, if we need to retrofit also. The second item is incentives. We will have reward for top savers. For example, if the Department of Architecture is the top saver, they will have reward for that, and we will, for that segment or for that quota. The second item is an annual ABU Energy Champion Award. The third one is user behavioral norms. Let people and reminder, switch off your AC. If I may ask, how many of us switch off our light before coming to this forum? So the next slide is still talking about how we can engage students in terms of curriculum. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, fine. This one. No. The same one. I just want to talk about engaging students in terms of curriculum. The photo you see here is a photo when I was in Malaysia as a student and as a staff at the same time. As a student, there is what we call solar decathlon. Solar decathlon is a competition organized by the US Department of Energy. In this competition, various universities are invited to submit a proposal. And what the competition is all about is to check how students can design a building, not a model, scale 1:1, a building that will run on renewable energy. started before in the 20s. In 2018, the Department of Energy combined their competition into solar capacity. And by 2013, we at UTM, we participated and we won the best energy building. That is a photo you see by the left with the pinkish color, if I remember correctly. This competition didn't just end like that. Our university asked us to build this same sample, and this building is happening. It works on 24 hours. And the building becomes a building that everybody visits. The photo below shows when the building was completed. It's called the UCM Solar Home. At the top right, in 2018, same competition. For information, this building we are built by students, not contractors from outside. So, meaning this is an example of how to integrate competition in the curriculum. For information, this competition ran for 2 years and is integrated into the various courses, electrical, mechanical, and design. This is for solar platform, and this is how we can, one of the possible ways we can integrate energy efficiency in student curriculum. Next slide, please. Here we have cross-faculty collaboration. From all the presentations that have been presented, you will find out that people are coming from different fields. We're talking about energy. It does not only rely on people from the hardcore electrical engineers, architects, even guys from the computer in terms of AIoT, and AI. So we need that cross-faculty collaboration. The goal here is to create holistic, interdisciplinary solution to energy challenges. The structure could be established a permanent ABU think tank, involving engineering, sciences, management, ICT, environment, even historians. They could tell us something about energy. The other point is to focus on long-term energy strategy. So, for example, we have projects. Maybe in the interdisciplinary final year project, students from architecture, students from electrical, students from IT, students from management. Let's see how we can come up with a small project. The other one is prioritize internal grants for the faculty research team. Next slide, please. As you can see, my presentation is sequential. We started with awareness, then, I started with awareness, then I spoke of collaboration, which has to do with technology. Mind you, when we talk about technology, we might not be advanced, but we can harness our new tech. So when we have this collaboration among the various faculty and various experts, we could come up with something. So it boiled down now to policy. I started with awareness, technology, and now let's look into policy. I tell you, without policy, awareness, and technology have no place. What I mean, we will want to, ask the management to allow us or to let us have the ABU as a campus, as a living lab. We have similar examples across the globe in Malaysia, in UK, elsewhere. Whereby in faculty will have one unit or one department serving as a living lab. For example, in the Department of Architecture, we will have electrophysical parts to serve as a living lab. in electrical engineer, in renewable section, like that, we have segment of living lab. The goal is to turn ABU campus into a practical demonstration site for sustainable energy. How do we do that? We demonstrate by a pilot smart building system. In one indoor or we can ensure highly visible renewable with educational signboard. We will establish a small scale waste-to-energy pilot linked to research. Then the other one has to do with integration. Make a real-time performance data accessible for student projects, integrate campus operation. For example, estate department, we can also directly embed this into their courses. I know most of the courses feel like it could be a university elective. Next slide. Talking about policies, globally we all know that the 17 sustainable development goals are here to address the issue of climate change and global, in which sustainability is the key solution. And you can see in this goal we have 3 different sectors: spiritual, ecological, and people. From the second slide, you see that energy is linked to all these other 17 goals, be it buildings, be it education. So it's a fundamental. Next slide, please. So key recommendation, and next slide, our challenge. We need to move beyond technology to change behavior and build capacity. The area in education, like I mentioned earlier, we need to have a kind of mandatory energy 101 for all students. That is quote and unquote awareness. In terms of engagement, we need to launch a real-time energy dashboard for transparency. I call it energy management app, in which I will not call it, we will not say it should be mandatory to be for everyone out there, but it could be, something close to. So people should have this application that tells you, look, we are using energy, your energy use is so. This faculty have used so energy, we need so energy, we generate so. The apps will make us know how far we are going. It's just going to use a smart technology into the system. And number 3, in terms of collaboration, we need to establish a formal cross-faculty energy impact that will leverage on no-tech. The fourth one is the living lab. We designate and form, maybe for a start, 2 small smart building pilot projects, which will serve as campus sustainability unit. This is at the policy level. With this, we will achieve the remaining 3 segments. So, what are the impacts, metrics, and call to action? We have passive skills. We have sustainability and innovation. In terms of passive skills, we need mastery of the system, design and operation, measurement, student placement to top energy firm, or at the same time, we will have several competition. In terms of sustainability, reduction of campus energy consumption by 15%. This has to do with awareness, just like I mentioned. With the app, we will know. Okay, for example, I ask a question, and many of us of our life before coming for this function. If you have a management app, you will switch off your life. If you remember, I did not own my life. So, in terms of energy use, we could, the other sustainability, reduce campus energy consumption by 15%. If we introduce smartness into the system using AIoT, what is the measurement? Utility savings and app and application. In terms of innovation, the competition will have this cross-faculty. We will have a lot of information. Professorship may show something. Honestly, if you have all the skills, what we are waiting for, this push, and thank you for this push. Also, in terms of innovation, the competition ranking full campus development, so we need to invest in the tacit mastery. We're not just funding labs, we are funding hands-on experience that creates future industry leaders using resourceful and community tested solutions. Before I come to the end of my presentation, I'd like to do a quick summary. I've been mentioned of my presentation was based on 3 items. One, awareness, whereby we introduce courses into the curriculum, we publish energy or arts here on a monthly basis. The second one has to do with technology. So here this cross faculty initiation. We will harness technology, either low-tech or high-tech. And the last one has to do with policy. Honestly, without policy, we can't do the two. So I want to thank the organizers. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you for this push. That is all for me. I rest my case now.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful presentation. And thank you for having us start from a world of experience. I just saw, among the virtual participants, I just saw Ubasani. Is it the community governor? Okay. Thank you. The Vice Chancellor, sir, I can see some people are already sleeping. Some are looking exhausted, and I think there is need for us to refresh a little. All up to that play the same next Jack or boy. So we take 5 minutes entertainment from the student of theatre and performing arts. After the entertainment, then we proceed to the panel discussion. Theatre and performing arts, please. You have 5 minutes. Okay, before they come, may I acknowledge the virtual presence of the Kaduna State Commissioner for Education, Professor Ahmadu. Thank you very much for joining, sir. Please can we put our hands together for the Honorable Commissioner. Ma'am? Okay, please. Let's just take, yes. Professor, the Honorable Commissioner, sir. We're with you, sir.
Yes, moderator.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Are you inviting me to speak?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor and Principal Officers of the Great ABU, the Dean and professors and other officers of the university, distinguished participants at this very important panel discussion. I'm very glad to see that the event is holding. This is because earlier in the year, in February, I delivered a public lecture at the instance of the Academy of Natural Sciences and Engineering of Nigeria, ANSEN, and the ABU, fighting energy security and sustainable development in Nigeria, the way forward for the state governments. The decision to hold the public lecture was because, in particular, the northern states were lagging behind in taking opportunity of the federal government's decentralization of electricity generation, transmission, and distribution in the country. The federal government did that by amending Electricity Act 2023, which allows the state governments to set up their electricity markets. Now, this is because, contrary to the popular opinion that the electricity sector reforms earlier undertaken should be cancelled, the federal government couldn't do that because litigation started emanating from the discussion of abandoning the decentralization earlier done. And the government thought a better way of doing it is to amend the Electricity Act, as I said, to allow the state governments to set up their electricity markets. Now, as you all know, a country of more than 230 million people we only have at best about 5,000 megawatts of electricity. That is a non-starter as far as development is concerned. That is why there is the frenzy and the push to get the state to join. As I'm talking to you now, 24 state governments have already passed their laws, set up their electricity markets, and 10 of them have already received the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission's go-ahead to transfer electricity regulatory activities to their states. Unfortunately, our great states haven't joined yet, and we are making every effort to get His Excellency, the dynamic oversight, to also get Kaduna State to join. And as soon as that is done, I think ABU, with the capacity it has, as I've seen in this particular event, and what I know from even the professors, I'm seeing some of them seated here, Kaduna's ABU can set up its electricity distribution company, electricity generation company as well. And that is not too difficult, because what the IEA is doing to ABU will be the beginning point. And then ABU can link up with IEA, again, get the International Atomic Energy Agency to give a small modular reactor which is very safe, which has very little protocol, and also to get the dam to get some electricity. So with the solar from the mini-grid, along with the hydro and the nuclear, in addition, apart from this last presentation, we can get also from the waste products, we can get from biomass, biofuel, to get substantial quantities of electricity. And with that done, I think ABU will even have the chance to sell electricity to other parties close by. Of course, it is something not very, very easy, but with the dynamism I'm seeing in the ABU's administration, I think that can be done. And with what I gathered, when I gave the lecture in February, the comments I received, the VC, outgoing VC then, and the experts in the university, I think ABU can easily do that. I'm very glad to note that ABU is making very strong connection with the Rural Electrification Agency. That is the way forward. That should be strengthened even further. And what ABU should do is not just to leave it like that, but set up a dedicated team of staff of the university and a few others from outside the university to ensure that this idea is achieved. I'm really glad to notice from the last presentation that there's hope for ABU, our university. My alma which I graduated 46 years ago, I think that can be done, that can be achieved. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. Sir, please can we once again put our hands together for the Honorable Commissioner. Thank you very much. Earlier on in the presentation of the chairman of the ABU IEAC, he mentioned the human capacity that ABU is blessed with. I think among those, well-established alumni everywhere, the Honorable Commissioner is one of them. Once again, please can we put our hands together for the Honorable Commissioner, and we would like to receive words of encouragement and the words of inspiration from established, and well-meaning Nigerians like him. And now, with the permission of the Vice Chancellor, we take the 5-minute entertainment. After that, we start the panel discussion. Third time performing, please, you have 5 minutes for your presentation. Thank you.
But remember, it no go last forever. When they race, like they race go, save energy, save it clever. the exercise.
What is happening here?
It's your children. They are making me shout at my things. I'll shout.
No wonder I'm hearing your voice from outside the gate. Why did you on the bulb outside? On. You can on everything. And you want the ones for the best. Why do you want it?
It's a lie. That means we want our papa to shine like sun.
No, your papa in this morning light, you want every light outside. You want to be there outside.
Yes.
Wait, I'm very sure I got everyone my generator this afternoon. You know here the tap to be overloading and point on the ground now. You let it overflowing. What is the problem with people these days that you don't like to waste energy? You don't like to waste energy anyhow. I'm very sure the 20,000 naira unit I got. You can do that. Use it.
That is it.
No, you don't do it. Is that what you Is it you? That's what again. One of my colleagues, he just left all the fan and the AC on the Friday and he went home. Only got up on Monday and then you are all the fan and AC were on. Imagine all the documents and papers in the office, they were all wet and scattered on the floor. Well, I am Professor Ellis. Yes. And you all are energy criminals. Yes, energy criminals. So that almost. Yes, almost. Because you raise electrical energy, you raise light energy. You also raise energy by leaving your tap on. Water will be flowing, not off. You want your solar, you want your AC, you want your oxygen and your fan and your speaker. Wasting energy that's supposed to be preserved.
But only because it is the
I see you. Save for the future. Save the energy for the future. Yes, I know my friend's enjoyment, but enjoyment that will leave you in darkness. Yes, the enjoyment will leave you in darkness. Sit down and let me teach you on how to educate, on how to save your energy. Good. You can save your life energy by not using your AC and your fan together. You can off your AC or on your fan, because all of them have one primary element to make the atmosphere conducive. You can also reduce the frequency of electrified iron. You can also use your charcoal iron to save the consumption of too much light. Your blood can be saved also if you use your charcoal iron. You see, let me tell you, there is an initiative also that helps with the initiative, but also help with the invention of solar. You see, solar receives its own direct energy from the sun. It's positive and also distributes light to our homes without lots of stress and anything. Yes, also we have the friction that has been produced from the footsteps of people. Imagine, for instance, over 500 people walk from building to Senate building. Imagine those energy are being regulated. It will provide a lot of energy for this ATC. Imagine a system where both the old, the young, woman, man, and even children, their footsteps can provide energy. Imagine the amount of energy that can be generated for this institution. My people, listen, let's come together and save energy. Save Professor Energy. Save Professor Energy.
Thank you very much, students of the Theatre and Performing Arts. I believe they say a word is enough for the wise. With this little performance, as law-abiding citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as passionate and patriotic staff and students of EBU, we know what is expected of you when it comes to saving energy. on no account should we leave our electrical appliances on, before leaving the office, or rather while leaving the office, and then also in our homes when going out or at night when sleeping. We should ensure that all electrical appliances are switched off. Once again, thank you very much. And quickly, may I also acknowledge the presence of the Director of Veterinary Teaching Hospital, Professor Ahmadu. You're welcome, sir. And now to the panel discussion. The panel discussion, with the permission of the Vice Chancellor. Initially, the time allotted for the discussion was supposed to be 35 minutes, but due to time constraint, the Vice Chancellor, sir, we're reducing it to 20. And we have 4 panelists. Number 1 panelist is Professor Mohammed Dauda. Please now we put our hands together for Professor Mohammed Dauda. Next panelist is Professor Boichi Mo. You're welcome, sir. And then, of course, we have Engineer Hassana Abubakar. The moderator, please come forward. The moderator is Mariam Yunus. Madam, please be quick in asking your questions. You have 20 minutes to moderate this session. Thank you. Sorry, we have another panelist, Linda Zhu from down, so if I'm not mistaken. Linda Zhu, please, if you're here, come forward. Okay, where's the representative? Please come forward. Thank you. Moderator.
Okay, good afternoon, my distinguished guests, representative of the Vice Chancellor, my my lecturers, the Dean of various faculty, my fellow students, thank you all for joining us. It is such, will I say, a delightful experience for ABEIC to be organizing something like this. It's giving us an avenue to all understand from the industry-wise perspective and from our amiable lecturers to understand the energy situation we are facing and how ABU can properly harness the renewable energy around us. So yes, I would be starting from Engineer Hassana. I'm a lady, so yes, I'm definitely going to be biased. Engineer Hassana, thank you very much for joining us on this panel discussion. Engineer Hassana is a SCADA engineer for Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited. And my first question would be, how can mainstream industry players, not to be specific, and CSR programs be strategically aligned with university-led energy innovative solutions?
Okay, good afternoon once again. Thank you, Mariam, for having me. So I will set CSR, that's corporate social responsibility. Mainstream can come in as a generation plant or station where ABU can collaborate with private partnerships. They can partner or collaborate by building a smart hydro hub center, equipped with modern technologies, emerging technologies, AIs, IoT, smart meters, SCADA system for monitoring, for supervision, for control, for data acquisition, and visualization of energy system.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Hassana. What you said was it feels like a dream come true. So do you think there's any specific thing ABU or the organizers of APEIC can do specifically to request such elaborate CSR initiative from Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited?
Yes, the initiative has started. The last time you were in Kainji, you heard from Mr. Capacity himself, EDC Raj. So he's ready. He's in love with Abu sites. So just come up with your model. And he has started working with Dr. Abdurrashid of Civil Engineering to bring up the prototype or the model of Kainji hydropower plant. Let's start from there. Then we can incorporate the SCADA system, the emerging technologies. Let's go beyond the grid. It's achievable.
Thank you very much, Engineer Hassan. That was a very detailed response to my question, and I hope as time moves on, ABU will be reaching that situation whereby we are able to generate our own electricity with Mainstream's partnership, of course. My next question will be going to Professor Boy Jimo. He's a professor here in our great university from the Department of Electrical Engineering. Thank you for honoring our invitation, sir.
Thank you.
So my question will be going, I don't know, from the educational perspective, from the courses we have been taking our students, how can emerging digital tools like AI, AOT, and smart grids be integrated into the university energy system for efficiency and management? Is this something that the department is currently looking at, or is this something that has been integrated into our curriculum for upcoming students like us to properly build passion for the energy sector to resolve ABU energy solution?
Thank you very much, the Vice Chancellor, the DBC, and my colleagues and the organizers. Thank you for inviting me here. The issue of inclusion of IoT and AI as far as energy management is concerned has been there in our curriculum, and it is being taken care of. But the real issue here that we have is that if we don't create a culture of energy management, you cannot deploy your IoT or your AI. So it has to follow through that already on our own, just like what was being displayed here, that we should have at the back of our mind that we should have something to do with energy management, because that is the first thing that we should be looking at. And it is also part of our curriculum as far as energy management is concerned, that we made most of our students to understand the role of energy management as far as energy sufficiency and sustainable are concerned. Then, plus that, APU has a means of tackling the issue concerning the excessive billing that we're having, because we have means here within APU to have our own means of generation. We have NAPRI, we have IAR, where we can talk about the biomass. We have the surface, the solar radiation that we can use, and then we have the hydro power system. We can have a hydro power system as far as ABU dam is concerned. All of them put together, we make sure that we don't depend excessively on what we are getting from the national grid, but we create, no matter how small, we can produce our own power here, and coupled with the management scheme that ABU can easily adapt. Then it is then we can now bring in the IoT and AI to make sure that whatever we are getting from the grid and what we are generating and what we are managing can easily be controlled, put together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for that elaborate response. A follow-up question to this. You said regarding our energy management, of course. I understand that the school has already started something whereby a certain period we don't have light in our hostels and a certain period we don't have light in class. We are just curious to know if, of course, this was a strategy for energy management. Has it been efficient? And has the school been seeing changes? Is that a question you can?
Yeah, there are changes. We are having more or less something to do with load shedding. Because if you look at our university or the campus, we have like up to 4, if not 5 different energy users as far as electricity is concerned. We have the academic area, we have a non-academic area, we have a students' hostel, we have a staff quarters, and we have street light, all put together. You discover that if when we need energy, especially by daytime, most of us, that is the time, almost all these users, they normally come on board. But by evening period at times, you discover that you don't need electricity in non-academic areas, maybe around, say, 8 o'clock till around 7 o'clock in the morning. But academic areas will likely be having, they took light. So what academic areas will have. Okay, the academic areas will be making use of the electricity, maybe depending, like you have life science and courses or programs where the need for electricity is almost 24 hours. There are some faculties that, like humanities, where you don't have much of laboratory works and you don't have much of maybe some reagents that need to be kept under certain special conditions. Those are the ones that you can easily ration so that evening time they don't have electricity, but by daytime they have it. Also, the students' hostels, you discover that by 11 o'clock or 11 a.m. till around 4 a.m., you can save a lot because that 5 hours or 6 hours, when you multiply it with the amount of power, average power they demand, you know how much you have saved. So already, when the VC was giving his speech, he told us that when he came on board, we were paying around 300 million, but it has reduced to 200 million. That is based on that load shedding aspect that we are doing. So more or less like an internal.
Just been feeling like, oh, the school has been a little bit punishing us, but now that I have said this, I think we are more inclined to be comfortable with the energy management strategy now.
Thank you. If I may just add small to it, where you are not, why do you need electricity there? Unless you have anything where maybe like refrigerator can be operational, you can use that. But if you are not in your class, then you take off the light. I'm sorry to say, we are very much used to just putting on light when we don't need that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, I will be asking our representative from Donwise. Thank you very much for being a part of this. I understand you are representing the founder.
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I'll take, before you answer your question, I don't know if you can just tell us maybe like 30 seconds explanation of what you do at Donwise.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for having me here today. My name is Peter from Downwise Energy, Abuja. At Downwise Energy, we are a solar manufacturer. We are into energy management systems, into a manufacture batteries. That is our battery energy systems. That is our BESS. So we are a battery manufacturer. That is what we do. So our main goal is that no energy is to go to waste. So our systems, we have systems that can take energy both from the grid, can take from hydro, we can take from all energy sources. What we do is to store the energy so that we can give it to you when it is needed. So that is what to do at Downwise Energy.
Thank you very much, sir, for that brief explanation. So my question is, specific skills you look out for in students, upcoming students that want to become engineers and want to, of course, work with Donwise, and do you think there's anything the university can, or do you think there's a specific way the university can redesign their curricula in order for it to attain all the necessary skills that the kind of people you would be needing?
Well, so far, I've been in the practical solar energy space for looking at 6 to 7 years now. And I think, personally, from my experience, the main issue, the main problem that I have with those coming into the solar space newly is that gap between the theory and the practical knowledge. Because most times in our curriculum in the university, we end up doing more of theoretical learning, ignoring maybe completely the aspect of practicals. Where personally, I was also a victim of that system. So it took me a while to adapt, to learn. It took me extra time to learn so that I could meet up to what the industry demand. So for those interested in coming into the solar space, I will encourage them to also advise that they take their practical learning seriously. It's very important. Take your practical learning very seriously.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Well, in response to that, I'll say our university, they're really trying their best because we have of course, the 200 level SWEP that we usually have for engineering students, and then we have the 400 level IT that we go to industry and learn practically from them. But I think more practical learning too can also be incorporated. I think our deans and HODs are here. And a follow-up question to that, is there anything Don Wise is doing to bridge this gap? Sorry. So maybe when you recruit, is there anything that is done for your?
Yes, downlines. The one of the core values of our company is that we make sure that anyone affiliated is professional enough. So if you come to our company, if you are joining, no matter the position you come in, whether you are coming in as an engineer, you are coming as a technician, even if you are coming in as a salesperson, you have to go through the technical training. The technical training for between 6 to 8 weeks. That is the prerequisite number one thing. Even before we assign you to various departments or any duties, that technical training is very important. That is the number one thing to do.
Okay, thank you much, sir, for that detailed response. I think our students here have heard you clearly, and the smart ones among them know what this panel session. Okay, my final question will be going to Prof. Mohammed Dauda from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Thank you very much, sir, for honoring our invitation. So my question would be, how can ABU actively contribute to shaping Nigeria's renewable energy policies rather than just implementing them?
Thank you for having me. It's really great to be involved with this energy innovation in ABU. Before I respond to the question raised, I just want to highlight what trajectory ABU have had in this quest of addressing its energy, escalating energy cost, if I may use that word. 2012, right? Yes. Essentially, there were two main projects that ABU got involved with, which is unique in this country. There is no institution or no organization that was involved with to that extent, which is the renewable energy. Here, when I say renewable, I mean solar, as well as biomass. Myself, a couple of us, I can see Davo, Jimo, myself, and the then Vice Chancellor, we traveled to Dombava in Hungary. What we tried to do then is essentially put ABU on the map of harnessing biomass to the tune of about 1.2 megawatts using internal resources, which is a life cycle process. There is no waste. It's one waste, convert it, extract energy, and then use energy. And then the so-called waste now is being used to produce more input for that. We went, as well as, in fact, this hand sanitizer, we have used it in quite a number of locations in ABU. That is arising from that effort. The second one is the issue of the solar panels, isn't it? 10 megawatts, isn't it? We even did the groundbreaking with GIZ, Germany. The German ambassador was here. Quite a number of European ambassadors were here, head of government, to showcase the energy footprint in the renewables. Unfortunately, what happened is that the partners we had then were not being truthful. In fact, the then Vice Chancellor, Ibrahim Garba, was not even happy with the committee. It's as if we are not being thoughtful for ABU to have it. But we insisted to him that those partners were not being truthful in their in the project. But we were vindicated. They said at the end of the day, they took it to BUK. BUK have 10 megawatts, isn't it? Is it functioning? No. The reason is because the ABU team said, no, we will not adopt this. There are some black box in that, which we said we were not comfortable, and we were vindicated. And then the last one is the issue of relationship with Main Street. It still had to do with the trip we made to Hungary. That was, if you remember, in Frankfurt, we met with Sani Bello, the junior brother to your chairman, who was the minister. So when we met in the ABU team, he found out, what are you going to do? He asked us, what are you going to do in Budapest? We told him energy. Sir, why don't you come to Main Street? That by then, federal government policy of they have changed it. That anyone that is consuming up to 2 megawatts of energy can directly go to a GENCO and go into contract to drive his energy supply. That is bypassing the distribution companies. So Sani Bello simply told us in the airport that, look, being an ABU alumni, he provide that energy to ABU. In fact, he said, in any case, they were dissipating it. Some of the energies that they generate is not evacuated. So what they do is so it's wasted. So why would it waste it? Yeah, by all means, he can give it even free to ABU, by the way. So the moment we came back, he sent some of their managers. They came to us, it was December 25th, during Xmas, when everybody we had the meeting with them in the Faculty of Engineering. In fact, when we were, the offer was too good. I was skeptical, so I asked him, by the way, why are you coming to us, to ABU, to give us this energy when ABU is very far away from the grid? Kaduna, in Kakuri, there are a lot of manufacturers. Why don't you supply it? So he looked at me, he said, look, man, I'm not here because I wanted to come to you. I know all of that. It is our MD that says we must come to ABU and give them that energy. Then essentially, we wanted to know the story behind the journey. So when he said that, and MD said this, that go to ABU, even if they don't have money to finance certain aspects of the project, let them simply tell you. If they tell you directly, they shouldn't worry. Main Street will finance all of this. We will come into an agreement simply to pay it. And the whole thing was done. In fact, he, as the electrical man, was involved with them. They came all the way, mapped everything was done. In fact, within the process, the then MD of TCN, Guru Mohammed, who also said he was an alumni of ABU, that's he graduated from accounting. He promised 2 750 MVA transformers. He has delivered. Essentially, to support all of them, what they are saying is that every we met, what they are saying is that they are really looking forward to the time that ABU will decouple itself from this discourse, such that they will have their energy. Indeed, they can even sell the energy. So essentially, this is where ABU is coming from. And let me say one thing. The other aspect of even putting ABU on a sound footing was while we were in Budapest, one of them came to tell us that they have new tunnels that even harvest energy from the windows. He demonstrated it to us that they are ready to even offer the facility to ABU such that we will make our own panels, not even import the panels. So essentially, these are a range of activities that ABU have been involved in. To coming back to the observation raised, how do we make policy in terms of, rather than simply being uptakers of products, how can we make ourselves amenable to policies that encourages development, design development, such that we are a little bit self-sufficient? Even that, I must say, also, ABU, the Faculty of Engineering, with the assistance of Professor Emma, the former Minister of Science and Technology, we made a trip to the then Minister of Science and Tech, which what they wanted to then, part of the triple helix, the academia, industry, and government, to assist ABU to be able to start fabricating solar panels. Because in any case, the technology is not high level. These are things that we do in our faculties here. So essentially, our curriculum, first, being an institution, what we are involved is creating critical mass of manpower. Let our students be aware of the policy, because although we teach technology, we hardly embed the policy aspect in our curriculum. We need to do that. ABU as an institution also should avail itself all the fora, because I'm not sure we are always invited for the Power Council annually. And that is the Power Council is an activity that the Ministry of Power undertake every year, which determines the policy, informed government policy. If we are not invited, then how? Despite our expertise and our research output, how do government know that we have expertise in this? So all I'm saying is that the department, the specific departments, should avail themselves of their expertise to the ministries and the agencies like NASENI and other organizations, such that they are involved in power councils. This is very important. We will know where government direction is, such that we come now in our research activities, in our even tutoring activities, we make sure that we produce students that are capable or understanding of this. Because in any case, these students are the one that later on goes back to the ministry to be hired on. For example, Yago, a student, a graduate of electrical engineering, he was the director of renewable energy. When we went to get some clearance for ABU, we realized that he is the one. And this is the person who are determining, enacting government policies in this. So all we are saying is that our curriculum is very important. We look at it. Here it is cross-cutting. Engineering, management, law, all of us look at how can we inform, how can we create awareness in our students that will know what is involved in enacting policies. Thank you very much. I hope I'm taking too long.
No, sir. Thank you very much. I think you did justice to the question I asked you. Although because of time, I had a follow-up question, but I think I'll ask you in the interactive Q&A session. But thank you very much, sir, for that. And it is evident that ABU is naturally ahead. We are in front when it comes to energy, renewable energy, and we are hoping to be there and be at the top at one of the major people generating energy for Nigeria. So thank you very much, discussant Engineer Hassana. Yes, thank you very much, sir. And we are honored to have you on this conversation, and I hope definitely our audience would have learned so much from you and be expecting more questions definitely from us. Thank you.
Okay, please, for the
No, you can please remain behind. With the permission of the Vice Chancellor, sir, we will take. Well, initially I was thinking we take as many questions as possible, but we can't. We'll take only 3, please. Okay? You're confusing me. Okay, Professor Binta raised her hand first. And then, yes, you behind Professor Binta second. Then, both of you, who is a student between the 2 of you? All of you are students. And decide between the 2 of you.
Thank you very much, MC. My name is Binta Abdul Karim. I'm a student and I'm a teacher also. If I refuse to learn, then I'll just perish. 2, I have a question. I don't understand. Panelists of discussants, are you happy that this audience is inclusively excluding other members of the university? Majority of attendees here are from engineering or ISMAIL related. I've not seen geologists, I've not seen geographers, I've not seen sociologists, I've not seen those in English. Even if they are, the ratio is so bad, it's so skewed, it's so few. Please, future events like this, insist that they come. If they don't, report them to the Vice Chancellor. Because we are working together. You'll be shocked from where I come from. I teach science education and a member of this assembly whose chairs you are sitting. We teach engineers and scientists how to teach science and how to teach engineering. So that is why I stayed behind, otherwise I would have gone. 2, please, there was a discussion by my son, Abdul Rashid. I remember when Amoka and Abdul Rashid, they were just young students coming up. They boiled yams using solar energy, and the yams was done at the top, it was raw at the bottom. And I was the advisor of physics then. I said, so then do something about it. Abdul Rashid has broken the barrier. Now, it is not just the yam boiling from the top, it's boiling from bottom and center side, northwest, east, and south. Please hold him well. In his lecture, please listen to me, discussants. You see my daughter in blue. Your discussion appeared to be futuristic too, because when you gave birth to those 4 quadruples, there were those that are futuristic. You see her in blue? Please include energy from the oceans. Blue energy. I'm in green today specifically because we are discussing green energy. My last comment. I'm a student and I'm a field worker. The policy of it is, I work for Kaduna State silently, nobody knows. My son invited guests, renewable energy in Kaduna State, urban renewals. There is the CADIM project, 2018 to 2032. And I participated, and I really assessed 13 agencies, and one of it is energy. My son, Abdul Rashid, to their hearing, please tell them what is happening to Urara, what is happening to Zaria Dam. You showed us the digital elevation model. Go? Okay. What stops you from extending it to the middle Galma and the lower Galma before you get into the Niger? I beg you. Lastly, my brother, if today, ABU is a nuclear world power, what's wrong? There is nothing wrong. Nothing. Wallahi, there is nothing wrong. Please don't be afraid. I just Googled, out of 31 countries that are nuclear power giants, no Nigeria is Nigeria is not in the map. Why? Is anybody scared of Nigeria? It's only Egypt I saw. Don't Allah, my brother, there is nothing wrong in Nigeria being a superpower of nuclear energy. After all, you do me, I do you. Period. Why are they scared of Nigeria? Ask them, why are they scared? Are they preempting us from research? No, we can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of us here are stakeholders, and we will protect the interests of Nigeria in terms of energy, whether in the field or in the academia or as a student. And I'm in all of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I am Dr. H. Ndeji from Mechanical Engineering. I am a researcher, Sustainable Force, Energy and Climate Change. I have a question to the representative, to MD Ria. Nigeria has Energy Transition Plan 2060, and based on climate change adaptation policies, there are a lot of things going on. And in terms of mitigation strategies, also there are a lot of things going on. But Nigeria seems to be investing more on climate change adaptation. And I am very sure that to achieve the Energy Transition Plan 2060, there are a lot of green jobs, and there are a lot of skills as well needed. So my question is, based on your experience at RIA, what green jobs and green skills do you think are needed for our own students to be able to achieve effectively Nigeria Energy Transition Plan of 2060? Thank you.
The two students.
Have you decided?
Have you decided? No, I mean one. We said, okay. Sorry, please.
Before we take
Please, before we respond to the questions and take the last questions, please let me crave your indulgence to present this certificate to some distinguished members here. The presentation is to be made by the Vice Chancellor because he has other university engagements to attend to. The Vice Chancellor, sir, may I humbly and respectfully invite you up here to please present this certificate, sir. The first recipient is Dr. Yakubu Aminu Dodo. Dr. Yakubu Aminu Dodo is not present here physically, but Professor Mariam Aminu will collect on his behalf. The next recipient is Linda Zhu. Linda Zhu is the founder of Don Wise Energy, and she's here ably represented by Mr. Peter. Of course, the next is Dr. Amina Batagarawa. Dr. Amina Batagarawa is also unavoidably absent physically, but Dr. Abrashid, you please come forward and collect on behalf of Dr. Amina. Next is Engineer Hassana Abubakar. Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And now, Please, we would like to excuse the Vice Chancellor to attend to, but before he goes, please, we'll snap a group photograph together with the panelists and then other senior professors here, and then after that, the Vice Chancellor can take his leave. Thank you, sir. Sai an gama. Aka zo su ne a bada. On. Oh. The Vice Chancellor, sir, please, before you take your leave, the Vice Chancellor, sir, sorry, sir. Please, can we be seated, please? Thank you. Thank you. The next recipient is the Managing Director of the Rural Electrification Agency, Dr. Abba Abubakar Aliyu, who is here ably represented by Dr. Bala Theoden. Next is Professor Sunday A. Jonah. Our panelist, Professor Boijimo. And then Professor Mohammed Dauda. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I had the student over there. You know what? Harmonize everything and then let one person ask. You, will ask on their behalf. Did you agree? Fine.
The first question by my colleague is here. He's asking why are final year students' projects not being patented? Then secondly, to my question. Okay, he's the one asking. Secondly, to my question, I feel that such public discussions like this are to find lasting solutions, not just to the university problem, but to national problems. If you look at the panel, we have persons from academia and we have persons from the industry. You know, persons from the industry have first-hand contacts with the problems, and academia are the gatekeepers of knowledge. So from a national scale, we are suffering severe, I think we have erratic power supply. So I would like to ask, from their own point of view, what is the most potent means or the most potent solution in finding a lasting solution to Nigeria's energy poverty, to Nigeria's electricity crisis, and having lasting power supply to the country? Thank you very much.
The last question on energy solution, the lasting one. Well, thank you once again. I think we have to look at it from maybe like, what can we do now? Like, I like the saying of Dr. Aliu Abdurrashid when he said, you see something, you do something. Let's take ABU because it's our focus. ABU, for example, now, as we are talking now, we are working in collaboration with REA, and at the same time, there is ongoing collaboration with mainstream. So at the local level, what can we do? Like I said before, we'll have to start having something to do with energy management, of which we've already started to have something to do with load shedding. That is just the immediate one. Then the long short of it, the medium term, is that we should find a way of harnessing the energy resources we have at the local level, which already the work of Abdurrashid is already showed that the prototype whereby we can have some hybrid of either of a solar biomass, which already as I said before, we can get from even from IAR and NAPRI the bioenergy resources. Then also we have the ABU dam that if it is possible, we can also get electricity from there. These are when you integrate whatever we can generate in ABU together with what we can get from REA and mainstream, I can tell you we are going to have abundant energy. The problem will be how are we going to manage it? Now, looking at Nigeria as a whole, that is a big one for me because the biggest problem we have, we should tell the truth is that 4,000 megawatt for 230 million people, I don't know. Maybe you may have less than 4, if not 5 kilowatt watt per person. So that means for me to put on a bulb of say 18 watt, I need to take the per capita of 2 or 3 people together, as compared to some heavily industrialized nations where you can have up to 1,450 kilowatt per person. So the truth is that the only thing we can do is just the same thing we are going on because of the work of REA, whereby you can have communities having distributed generations at their main source for now. But as far as industrial and manufacturing energy needs are concerned, we have to go back to what Professor Jonah, the work of Professor Jonah has at now. We need nothing less than nuclear power resources. Because our Kanji put together and Shiroro together with Zugeru and what have you put together is not going to give us that. Our gas resources will not give us that. Our whatever, even our fossil fuel energy resources cannot put us at the level where our industrial energy need will be met. And without industry, you cannot develop. So just like Prof said, the lady here put it, so what if you have nuclear power plant? because that is a long shot, but that is the only way. That is the only solution we can get so that we can enter into manufacturing and have something to do with our industrial energy need. Thank you.
So the question on patent. Why undergraduate researchers are not patented?
Is that from the undergraduates?
Yes.
Researchers are not. Well, you know, I think this ought to have been directed to maybe the policy of ABU together with the research centers.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I think they should.
Professor Maina was here earlier, and then Professor Balogun was also here.
Okay. He wants to respond.
Okay, sir.
Just a minute. I think the issue of patent, which is IP, intellectual property, isn't it? No one says that an undergraduate project cannot be patented. However, since it's the output of an effort, your own effort, based on the finding, you can decide to seek for the patent. Of course, you will argue that you will not have the patent alone yourself. It has to be through the university. So the university at the moment, in fact, it encourages patents to be applied. Because we even have an intellectual IPPTO office, isn't it? Yes. That's the Professor Balogun, isn't it? So essentially, there is, within the university for a long time, there's an office, intellectual property office, which encourages application for patent. However, it's not just any project that can qualify for a patent. It has to be novel, it has to be original. There's something that is unique to it. The moment it is, you write and apply to the NOTAP. I, as a person, we have, I think, about 2 or 3 patents that came out of PhD students that had done their own work, and it was found to be unique. In fact, the patent from those works, even it can be done in US or UK, because we search the patent there in the international arena and it's not existing, so you can patent it there. But to answer you directly, no one stops you. So in fact, by all means, if you finish your project, you can apply, you can summarize it and apply for the patent from NOTAP. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What was the observation by Dr. Ndeje? What do you, sorry?
It's directed to the MD of Rural Electrification Agency.
Thank you very much. So I think that to start with, Prof's concluding remark on inclusivity of other departments was very, very pertinent. One, because we're talking about climate financing, accounting students are not here. Other programs that cross-cut into renewable energy sector are not also represented. Having said that, the REA's mandate is to expand electrification in rural areas. We do so through public-private partnership. We work with private companies, so if you have a private company and you have what it takes to be eligible as a contractor, you can work with us in the renewable energy space. We have an open and fair competitive process. Once we put out an advert, feel free to apply. Some people from the academia have really muzzled up at some of our contractors, and they work with their students. So that's another way of hand-holding your students to the energy space. The Rural Education Agency has an initiative called the Education Program. During that, which ABU is one of the recent beneficiaries of our 10 megawatts initiative, you'd also find out that at the point of from students, because the O&M and sustainability transferred to the university. And so that is one of the corridors of having that handshake. Another corridor for us is the RESCO Next Gen. We call it RESCO Next Gen, Renewable Energy Supply Company Next Generation Engineers. So young graduates under maybe 2 years of their graduation, as soon as they're done with their service here, we recruit them and attach them with our renewable energy service companies, where they would learn and also graduate into or mature into some medium enterprise, and then they can qualify also as our developers. So these are some of the streams that very Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Panelists, we see a very big thank you. We appreciate you for allowing us to tap from your wealth of experiences this afternoon. Indeed, the enterprise of your knowledge has been felt today. Thank you very much once again. And that'll be all, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, good afternoon once again. This change mantra is actually kind of an inspiration to ABU. Whatever you see, please, we are not specifically restricting your eyesight or your ears to anything. Whatever you see, if you see something, you have to do something. Say it after me. If you see something, you should do something. I can't hear you, please. If you see something, you should do something. Or at least even if you cannot do anything, if you see something, you should say something. Okay? If you see something that is not good in ABU, and you feel like you can move it forward, you should do something. So the first option is, let this be a movement in ABU. If you see something, say something. It could be anything. Yeah, do something. If you see something, do something about it. The model you see I have just presented that we got the complete sponsorship from Mainstream, I saw something and I did something about it. The Vice Chancellor saw the problem of electricity, he saw something and he's doing something about it. When he came to engineering, he said something. So instead of do something, if you cannot do anything, you feel like you are handicapped, please, and please, say something. This is Dr. What we named the theater after. If you see something, please say something. Probably someone somewhere can be able to help and we can move the university forward. Together, we can make ABU a greater university with international perspective. Thank you very, very much.
Please, this it has escaped my mind. This idea, this placard you saw, is completely sponsored by Magnitude Engineering. Please and please, let's appreciate Magnitude of Engineering for this. Thank you very much.
If you see something, do something or say something. But man up and take responsibility. Yes. If you see something, say something and do something about it. And I believe by so doing, we all shall prosper and overcome any difficulty that may come our way. Quickly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we've already had a very long day. And I believe the discussions have been very fruitful. And there are a lot of take-home messages from the presentations to the panel discussions, up to the presentation of awards and what have you. And please, I crave your indulgence. ABU students, they say, we are naturally ahead. So let's keep on making the noise. Let's continue amplifying the voice of ABU anywhere we find ourselves. And this conversation has just started. And I believe with the strong bond and the strong collaborations between the academia and the industry, issue of energy problem will be a thing of the past by the grace of God here in Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. And we will also set the pace for others to follow. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, having done that, the next item on the agenda is the vote of thanks. The vote of thanks is to be presented by the Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Professor Jibril Mohammed Kaura, who is here ably represented by the Assistant Dean, Dr. Mujahid Mohammed. Please can we give him a round of applause while he comes for the vote of thanks. Thank you, sir.
Once again, a very good day to all. The distinguished keynote speakers, esteemed discussants, respected colleagues, professors, invited guests, and our dear students, good afternoon. On behalf of the Dean of Engineering, Professor J.M. Kaura, I have the honor and privilege to deliver this vote of thanks at the conclusion of these insightful and inspiring events. Beyond the grid, ABU energy conversation. First and foremost, we express our profound gratitude to our chief host, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adam Mohammed, for his unwavering support and for gracing this occasion with this distinguished presence and vision for sustainable energy development in our university and Nigeria at large. Similarly, our sincere appreciation also goes to the keynote speakers and other eminent experts for deeply engaging presentations and valuable insight into the evolving landscape of renewable and alternative energy. We equally thank our panel of discussants, professors, and industrial experts, as well as all those that contributed for enriching the discussions with diverse perspectives from academia, industry, and international collaboration. Again, our appreciation also extends to the organizing committee of AVU Energy Challenge Innovation, chaired by Dr. A.S. Abdurrashid, and the entire faculty professors and other academic staff, and even the administrative staff who contributed in one way or the other. Their dedication and coordination in making this program a remarkable success. To our dear students, entire staff, and the forthcoming inventors, we thank you for your active participation and enthusiasm. Your presence underscores our collective commitment to exploring innovative solutions for Nigeria's and Africa's energy future, truly going beyond the grid. As we conclude, may the ideas shared today inspire continued research, partnerships,